Hi everyone, my name is Eric. Today I'm going to review the Syma X5C. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my reviews, and I always appreciate the thumbs up. Thanks guys.
I'll be going over everything that I liked, didn't like, and I'll show you how it performs outside, some tips on flying, and some video from the onboard camera. As always, I provide links to where you can find the products that I review in the description below. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to respond as quickly as possible. Syma did a great job with the X5C and the X5. Really, the only difference is the C model comes with the camera. It looks a lot like the DJI Phantom and has a lot of the features that you would normally find on a more expensive quadcopter. Now, the DJI is an amazing quadcopter and there's really no comparison between the two. The DJI is a hobby grade and the X5C is toy grade, but for the price, I think it's the perfect quadcopter for someone who wants to get all of those features or as many of those premium features as possible for the least amount of money. Or someone who's wanting to learn to fly a more expensive quadcopter, but first wants to start out with a more durable, inexpensive model. The landing skids and blade guards feel a little flimsy, but overall the quadcopter is very rugged. It's so lightweight that the parts can withstand harder crashes compared to heavier quadcopters. Now the blade guards actually do a really good job. They not only protect from walls and trees, but they also protect the blades from rough landings and prevent the blades from hitting the ground. You see here they're a little bit curved up, so when it hits the ground, it just kind of rolls and then lands right side up. It's pretty cool. They do weigh it down some, and the quadcopter will fly just a little bit better without them. They're held on with a little screw, and the camera removes really easy as well in case you want to make it fly at peak performance. So to remove the camera, you're just going to pull it out here, lift up, and then there's two screws. There are two tiny screws here and here, and then in the front there's like a little clip. So you're going to unscrew it and then push it forward and then unplug it from the body of the quadcopter and it'll come right off. And I think the battery compartment is pretty cool. I think it adds like a really nice sleek characteristic to this quadcopter. To get into the battery, you just pull back, lift up, and then there's your battery right in there. And to bind it, all you have to do, turn on the controller, make sure the throttle's full down, turn on your quad. When you see it flashing like that, that means it's binding. So go ahead and bring the throttle up all the way. You hear that beep and bring it down. And now the lights are solid, and that's when you're ready to go. Even if this is your first time flying, the Syma X5C will make a good beginner's quadcopter. If you've been thinking about buying maybe a DJI Phantom or a Parrot drone, get the X5C or the X5 and take a couple hours to really learn the flight characteristics. The bright green and red orientation lights on the bottom of the arms are a very nice touch. These lights help a ton when flying outside, especially when the sun starts going down. The further away you fly, the harder it is to distinguish what direction your quadcopter is pointing. Now with airplanes, you have an obvious shape that you can see at greater distances, and what makes the X5C even better is the frosted covers that diffuse the light from the LEDs, making it even easier to see. It's a feature that Syma really nailed with this one. The camera is okay. It's what I expected from a $60 quadcopter. Now, if you get the X5 without the camera, it is about $10 less, so really the camera doesn't add much value to the quadcopter. I was hoping for more of a wide-angle view though. Now, unfortunately, the camera is pointed down, and if you're too close to the ground, it's really hard to see what's going on, and it doesn't do that well in low light. But if it is a bright day and if you're flying up high, you can get some decent pictures and video footage. I really like how you can control the camera from the transmitter. To record and take pictures, just press the trim tab on the throttle, which is the left side of the control. This will activate the camera. Pushing the trim up will take a picture, and pushing it down will start the video. And to give you a comparison of a couple other HD cameras, here's the Hubsan X4 footage, which I reviewed previously. And here's footage from the Mobius, and this is actually attached on top of my Radian, the UMX Radian glider. I reviewed both the Mobius camera and the Hubsan X4 on my channel, so be sure to check those out. The 6-axis gyro is good, it does help with stability. It feels pretty stable in mode 1, which is the slower mode. Mode 2, this thing can really pick up speed, so be careful flying on windy days. I recommend taping a little piece of paper to the bottom with your contact information, just in case the wind takes it away. A common way people lose their quadcopters is by flying up high and not knowing which direction it's pointed. Now it seems obvious, but when you're up high fighting strong winds, it can be very disorienting and your quadcopter can drift away very quickly, quicker than you think. You have to remember that as you fly above the trees, the wind is stronger than what you feel on the ground and oftentimes blows in different directions. So it can be very confusing. You might be fighting the wind and actually flying backwards, and then you try to readjust and fly the other way, and now you're flying like 3 times as fast. So just be careful when it's windy out. If you're learning to fly, I always say this, but keep it low and over the grass until you're comfortable with the controls. Now the range does seem kind of overstated to me from what's advertised. Now I know that has a lot to do with the situation and where you're at, how many radio channels or radio towers are by you, but I'm getting around 20 meters. Now I've heard of some people getting close to 50 meters. Maybe they're out in the fields. There's not a lot of communication going on in the airwaves. I don't know, but I think this has a lot to do with your terrain and nearby radio towers. Now the great thing is the spare batteries are very affordable. They cost around $5 a piece. You can buy one, or there's also packs of them. I'll include links in the description below where you can find the correct ones to use with the X5C. So that's my review on the Syma X5C. Really enjoyed this quadcopter. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. And please subscribe if you like my video. I appreciate those thumbs ups. Goodbye.